ABC Science B finalist for 5th grade. My name is Justin Moody. This is Sarah Del Villano, and this is Peter Schmidt. Will be your dais team for today. First of all, before we really get started, I want to take a second to congratulate our 6 finalists who have made it here today. Could we please have a hand for Ian? For Omar? For Aryan? For Darsh? For Jeremy? And for Bentley. These are our final 6 5th graders in what has been a very tough draw. You guys have done an amazing job to get here. Now we get into finals to see who our first, second, and third place winners are. So before we get too far into the weeds, scoring will be just like it's been done before. There will be power marks. 6 points before a certain power mark, 5 points before the next. 4 if you answer correctly before I finish the question. 3 if you answer correctly after I finish the question. Any incorrect interrupt is -2 points. Any incorrect response after I finished is -1 point. Sarah and I will try to be very good about letting everyone know how many points you scored at each question. All right, students, are you ready? And just as a reminder, it's 30 points to get out. All right? I can work it. All right. Oh, in that case, we can work it.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Good luck, y'all. Question 1. On these diagrams, our Lyrae variables are located between notches of the x-axis that are labeled A and F. W Virginis variables are located in the instability strip on these diagrams, which, extending from the top left to the bottom right, contain a section labeled as the main sequence. That is red 3.
HR diagram?
That is correct for 5 points. All right, 5 to Ian. Question 2. An example of this law concerns the fermentation of yeast during bread baking, which involves the expansion of carbon dioxide while the bread is placed in the oven. An experiment that demonstrates this law involves a balloon shriveling up when placed in a case of liquid nitrogen, but automatically reinflates when it is taken back out. For the points, name this law, which states that at constant pressure, the volume of an ideal gas is proportional to its temperature. That is red 4. Say one more time. That is correct for 3 points to Omar. Question 3. All electrons in singly filled orbitals should have the same value for this quantity according to Hund's rule. This value is either positive 1/2 or negative 1/2. That is red 3. That is correct for 5 points. So 5 points to Ian. Question 4. On these diagrams, cosanguineous unions are represented by a double line and successive generations are labeled with Roman numerals. A half-shaded shape on one of these diagrams indicates a heterozygote or carrier of a condition. That is red 4. That's incorrect for -2 to Omar. Of a condition such as color blindness or Huntington's disease. For the points, name these diagrams used to visualize how genetic disorders are transmitted through a family's lineage. Players, you have 3, 2, 1, and that is time. The answer we were looking for there was a pedigree chart, although I also would have accepted a family tree. All right, so that went dead. Question 5. This museum contains the Fells Planetarium, the second oldest planetarium in the United States. This museum contains a national memorial to its namesake that was designed by John Wyndham and modeled after the Pantheon in Rome. This institution also displays multiple possessions from its namesake, including a glass harmonica and a lightning rod. That is red 4. That is correct for 4 points to Omar. Question 6, and just as a reminder, audience, please try to keep any background noise to a minimum. Thank you.
Also, just a reminder, they played at 40 points. 40 points wins outright.
It says 30 on our sheet.
Okay. It's 40, just got the message from HQ.
All right, thank you.
Sorry. With writing on the board, the dashes can indicate it's negative.
Got it. Fair enough. All right, are we ready to continue? All right, and as Chris indicated, it is 40. My apologies for that earlier.
Yeah.
Question 6. Wounds to phloem and xylem tissues trigger release of these compounds to induce cell differentiation. The most common and basic form of these hormones is indole-3 acetic acid. The release of these hormones lowers the pH and breaks down the cellulose of the cell wall to introduce tropisms. For the point, name these plant hormones that promote cell elongation. That is green 3. That is correct for 4 points. And that is to Darsh. Question 7. Aside from Venus, this is the only known object to contain racetrack-like coronae, including 3 named Elsinore, Arden, and Inverness. This body contains a cliff called Verona Rupes, a 12-mile-high escarpment, which is the tallest cliff in the solar system. This body is named for the daughter of Prospero in Shakespeare's The Tempest, which also lends its name to its neighboring. That is red 5. Say that one more time, please.
Vesta?
That's incorrect, so -2 to Ariane. For the points, name the smallest of Uranus's 5 major satellites orbiting alongside Umbriel, Titania, and green 4.
Oberon?
That is incorrect, -2 and Oberon. Red 3.
Miranda?
That is correct, 3 points to Ian. And that -2 was to Jeremy. Okay. It was 2. Yeah, 2 next one. All right, question 8. We'll do a score check at 10. One layer of this body part primarily hosts a tissue-resident macrophage called the Langerhans cell. That is red 4. Prompt. I need it. Sam. That's incorrect. I'm sorry. -2 to Omar. That is red 3.
Epidermis?
That is correct. 6 points to Ian. These structures occupy a rectangular shape in the 3rd quadrant of a Ramachandran plot because they have phi and psi angles at -60 and -45 degrees. Proline is known as a breaker of these structures, which contain hydrogen bonds between every 4 amino acids. For the point, name these protein secondary structures contrasted with beta sheets, which have a coiled appearance. That is red 5. That is incorrect. -1. Yeah. Players, you have 3, 2, 1, time. We are looking for alpha helix or alpha helices. That leads us to question 10. We'll do a score check after this. When the size of the cells of these organisms diminishes after cell division, specialized zygote cells called oxospores restore them to their initial size. These organisms are called the jewels of the sea and living opals, since their cell walls, or frustules, are composed of silica. That is green 5.
Oyster?
That is incorrect. -2 to Bentley. Silica, which is the main constituent of glass. For the point, name the single-celled algae that inhabit marine ecosystems. Players, you have 3. That is red 4. That is prompt. I need an answer. All right, that is no answer. -1. Red 3. That is incorrect altogether. And that question goes dead, so -1 to Ian. The answer you're looking for there was diatoms. That's 2. We'll do a score check right now, Sarah and Peter.
So to make sure we have the
Yep.
same thing. So I have Ian at 18,
Yes.
Omar at 2,
Yep.
Aryan at -3,
Yep.
Darsh at 4,
Yep.
Jeremy at -2,
Bentley minus.
and Bentley at -2.
Yep.
I have the grandmother.
All right. Thank you all. Moving on to question 11. Harvey Fletcher was among the participants in this 1909 experiment that took place in the Ryerson lab at the University of Chicago. Green 3.
Milliken Ultra.
That is correct for 6. Question 12. Leif Sturmer's dissertation examined the development of this organism, which he grouped as a member of Artiopoda. Sprigina may have been an ancestor to these organisms which came to dominate sea environments. Paradoxides and phacops are among the many genera of these organisms, whose roles included that of a filter feeder and a seabed predator. For the points, name these now extinct. That is red 4. That is correct for 4 points. 13. In proving Vinograd's theorem, one can use a sum named for this mathematician represented as C sub q of n. This mathematician's namesake primes are defined as the difference between pi of x plus and pi of x minus 2. This man, who calculated Euler's constant to 15 decimal places, hailed from modern-day Tamil Nadu. For the points, that is green 3.
Ramanujan.
That is correct for 4 points. 14. A 2023 study found that in the equatorial region, the apex height of this region is approximately 18 kilometers. Deriving from a Greek word meaning rotating, this region is home to most weather phenomena and contains roughly 3/4 of the mass of the planetary atmosphere. That is red 3.
Stratosphere.
That is incorrect, -2 to Ian. With an average height of 11 miles. This is, for the points, what lowest? That is green 3.
Troposphere.
That's correct, 4 points to Darsh. 15, we'll do another score check since we'll be at the halfway point. The industrial production of phosgene often involves the passing of chlorine and a purified form of this compound through a catalyst of porous activated charcoal. The Fischer-Tropsch process involves the creation of hydrocarbons from a mixture of hydrogen and this compound. Dizziness and cherry red skin are among the symptoms of a condition involving excess inhalation of this odorless compound. That is red 4. That is correct for 4 points. All right, score check, please.
I have Ian at 16, Omar at 10, Arian at -3, Darsh at 18, Jeremy -2, Bentley -2.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Peter. 16. The dead box type of these proteins function during RNA metabolism. Examples of these proteins, such as MCM2, are loaded onto AT-rich Ori sites during a licensing step. Topoisomerases, my apologies, relieve the tension created by these enzymes, which initiate replication by breaking the hydrogen bonds between nucleobases. For the points, name this class of enzymes that unwinds. That is green 3.
Helicase.
That is correct for 4 points to Darsh. 17. A location known as this landform's hurricane variety in Utah was listed as containing faultless Shinarunk conglomerate. Escarpments characterized by steep inclines surround this landform's central feature, whose summit regions are more extensive than those of buttes. A particularly large one of these, known as the Grand variety, that is red 5. Let's see here. I cannot accept that, so that is -2 to Ariane. Notice that is red 4. That is incorrect, -2 to Omar. The Grand variety can be found in Colorado, with a name that is green 5. That is also incorrect, -2 to Bentley, and the question goes dead. We are looking for mesas. I also could have accepted table hills or tabletop hills before I had said the word table. Question 18. Finland's Lake Pajalampi was the site of an experiment manipulating density and this quantity for invertebrates. The total amount of organically bound carbon is sometimes used as a proxy for this ecological quantity. Green 5.
Biomass.
That is correct, 5 points to Bentley. 19. This man's interest in anesthesia was evident in his 1847 essay on the inhalation of the vapor of ether, which was published after he administered chloroform to Queen Victoria while she was in labor with Prince Leopold. This man wrote, I suspected some contamination of the water of the much frequented street pumped in Broad. That is green 3.
Johnson.
That is correct for 5 points to Darsh. Question 20, we'll do one more score check after this. The oldest hominin produced examples of these objects are located at Laetoli, Tanzania, and were formed in volcanic ash. Examining the spacing of these objects provides the best evidence for a dinosaur's speed, and they can be used to determine. That is red 4. Bear with me. No, I can take track. Footprint fossils, trackways, footprints was the main go there. That's correct for. I said like.
No.
All right, that's correct for 5. And we'll do a score check.
I have Ian at 16, Omar at 13, Arian at -5, Darsh at 27, Jeremy at -2, and Bethany at 1.
That's right. All right. All right, coming down the stretch to question 21. The lower portion of this specific kind of structure is comprised primarily from ultramafic accumulations derived from melts from a deeper adjacent region. Gaps in this specific region are filled with crystal mush that later becomes sheeted dikes and pillow lava. This specific structure is made up of denser basalt, which causes it to subduct under it. That is green 3.
Oceanic crust.
That is correct for 5 points. 22. These organisms use their tail fibers to grasp their prey and initiate reversible and irreversible binding. The virulent type of these organisms reproduces through the lytic cycle. That is green 4.
Virus.
That is incorrect. -2 to Jeremy. Red 3.
Bacteriophage.
That is correct. 6 points to Ian.
Yes,
All right.
Amber does.
You can indeed. All right. At what point did he was?
I looked at lytics.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Please bear with me. We have to resolve this protest. I will be right back. All right. I've got their numbers. Buzz here. Buzz is the. All right, I will be right back. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's a commercial. Live streaming, yes, the finals live streaming. Yep, they're gonna, unless you want to perform a commercial.
All right. Commercial. Cat bar.
I've never watched it. I record everything.
We are still rolling, just so you know. So, thank you.
It's hard. They're in the same school, right? Last time I was in the same school. It's hard to hear.
We're going straight to video.
Watching this right now. Hello, people watching.
I'm in Fairfax.
You can skip like 5 minutes later.
Arlington
You
City.
can't have a live stream because that hasn't happened yet.
And then you and I are together for the Geo semi.
They should have told you for fire stat. How would you know the answer? Bacteria, what kind of question? I probably would say. They should have taught you.
Yeah, they should.
They would discuss, should they say wrong?
It's a much, much
Agreed.
Hello.
Yeah.
Subscribe to my channel. Yes. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Go to the description down below for my bird. And you realize that you usually say that at the end, and it's the end yet. I don't care. People are watching. People are watching this. This is a commercial break. Hello, those who watch this. Except for China. Like a good neighbor, snake farmer. So everybody except for one would.
Some more compensation.
All suspicious snake prices. And how many people do you think are watching?
10.
Oh, okay. Hands up.
Maybe.
Hands up.
Because normally we would invite, your grandparents to watch, your aunts and uncles, but we never know who's making them either, so they don't know to watch.
People watching this.
Yeah, anyone could watch.
Hello there, and thank you for watching this. And watch the next one next year.
People of the future.
People.
Wait, I just feel
By this time, we know that one of these is a bad, bad man who's done a horrible thing.
Or one of these. Who is
Hi,
it?
Robbie.
Not sure, Omar. I hope it's not you.
You.
All right.
Okay, everyone, we're back.
We are back and we have a ruling. Ian, my apologies. Your protest has been denied. The ruling was that, oh, sorry.
Ian had the points,
yeah,
Jeremy had the protest.
Jeremy, your protest was denied. The ruling was that there are similarities between bacteriophages and viruses, but they're not functionally the same thing for the question.
Okay, so that means the score stands at Ian 22, Jeremy -4.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, moving on to 23. This man is the alphabetically first. Oh, Chris, are we good to keep going?
Yes,
Okay,
we're good.
sorry. The alphabetically first namesake of an approach that combines an element's enthalpies of ionization and atomization using Hess's law. Along with J. Robert Oppenheimer, this man names an approximation that assumes red 3. That is incorrect, -2 to Ian. That assumes the motion of atomic nuclei and electrons can be treated separately. For the points, name this German physicist who, with Fritz Haber, names a cycle that is red 4. That is incorrect, -2 to Omar. And red 5. That is also incorrect, -2 to Ariane. And the question goes dead. It's Max Born.
I think by mistake is a correct 3 from you.
So Ian should be at 20, Omar at 11, and Ariane -7.
That's right. Or 20.
Ian 20.
Okay. 24. 1,4 cyclohexadienes are created from arenes in a type of this reaction named for Arthur Birch. That is red 3. That is correct for 6 points. 25, we'll do a score check after this. The Cayman Trough contains the deepest known site of these ecosystems called Beatty, which generally form on divergent plate boundaries. Animals such as the Pompeii worm and the scaly foot, that is green 5.
Hydrothermic vents.
I will take that. Hydrothermic or hydrothermal vents, that is correct for 6 points.
So after 25, I have Ian at 26, Omar 11, Ariane -7, Darsh 32, Jeremy -4, and Bentley 7.
Yes.
All right, 5 questions to go. 26. The original author of the servo engine is this organization, and this company developed an email client known as Thunderbird. Jason Calacanis claimed that is red 4. That is correct for 5 points. Good buzz. 27. This constellation is home to a feature sometimes referred to as Charles's Wain and contains an asterism called the 3 leaps of the gazelle. Merak is the beta star of this constellation, which also includes a feature that includes 4 components of a bowl and 3 of a handle. A plow shape, that is green 4. That is correct for 4 points. I'm sorry, 5 points, 5 points, my apologies. 28. IR8 was a variety of this crop developed in the 1960s, primarily developed for cultivation in the Philippines and India. This crop's new genetically modified breeds have greatly increased yields in the second half of the 20th century, becoming a key part of the Green Revolution. That is red 5. That's incorrect, -2 to Ariane. O. glaberrima and O. sativa are 2 cultivars that serve as the basis for a development of a new this crop for Africa. For the points, name this white cereal grain grown in paddy field. Green 5.
Barley.
That is incorrect, -2 to Bentley. And red 4. That is correct. No, had I said field?
You hadn't yet. You
I had not said
Patty.
yet said fields.
Yeah,
So
that's
next
4.
2 to Bentley and 4 for Omar.
Right, in the middle there.
Okay. They're not planets. The Kelvin
Yep, should be a 20.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. They're not planets. The Kelvin-Helmholtz mechanism is exhibited by these objects, which are tested for in a technique that measures their spectral type and lithium content. Unlike main sequence members, these bodies are unable to maintain the fusion of hydrogen into helium. That is red 4. That is incorrect, and that will be a -2. For the points, that is red 3. That is also incorrect, -2. Red 5. That is correct, 5 points.
Okay, who are those ones?
This entire row. So Omar -2, Ian -2, and then Ariane 5 points.
Already got 5 points.
Okay. And our last question, which is question 30. Voigt notation can be used to express this law as a 6x6 compliance matrix, which was used by Cauchy in his generalization of this law to 3-dimensional bodies. The generalized form of this law can be written using both Poisson's ratio and Young's modulus. Materials for which this law is applicable are referred to as linear elastic. For the points, name this law that describes the compression of a spring. That is red 3. That is correct for 4 points. Barring any tiebreakers. Sarah, what are our scores, please? All right, bear with us 1 second, y'all.
So do you want to do that? Okay, all right, we're gonna go ahead and announce, but everyone please look so you know where to go next. All right, our 6th place finisher is Ariane. In 5th place, Jeremy. In 4th place, Bentley. In 3rd place, Omar. 2nd place is Ian. And our champion for 5th grade science is Darsh. Mr. Justin's gonna let us know where we're headed next, since you guys have to get your awards.
We will be headed down to, I believe it's Arlington 3 for awards. So y'all know that is downstairs, the 1st floor, Arlington Salon 3, Arlington Salon 4. You can follow
The big room.
yeah, the big room. If you want, you can follow Sarah, Peter, and I down there. But thank you all so much for
Well
letting me read for you.
done.
Good job to all of our finalists. Thank you.